Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz. And joining me here in just a few will be John Borba. But Happy New Year's to all of you. And what a blessing it is to wake up this beautiful morning. Some of those of you that maybe have woken up with a bit of a headache, maybe had a little bit too much to sip on last night, I'm praying for you. And get your vitamin D in and your electrolytes in. And let's conquer today. Let's get our 30 minutes in and really focus on ourselves, on our mentals, on our physiques. Let's try to encourage one another to get 30 minutes in a day at minimum. And let's kick 2026 in the tush. And let's have a year. As I say all the time, let's have a day. So let's have one today. And today we'll be talking about Tim Foley will be joining me in just a few so we can react to the college football playoffs. And then we're going to talk about which AFC quarterback do we trust the most heading into Week 18 and the NFL playoffs. And then we'll give you guys our picks to end the show. College football is about to begin here at 10 a.m. Texas Tech kicks off. That's going to be a fun game. But Tim will inform us on what we should expect from that game and what the weather looks like. Because I believe this is if it is what I've seen, the weather might play a factor. So that should be interesting. How was New Year's for you guys? Let me know in the comments. Good morning. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And let's have a show. And let's start off with talking about Lamar Jackson's being criticized heavily right now on whether or not he is going to get the start for the Baltimore Ravens against the Steelers as they host them this Saturday for the division and for the final playoff spot. Let's listen into Club Shay Shay or Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, where they kind of had a little bit of a debate on whether or not Lamar Jackson should be the starting quarterback. Let's see what they had to say.
Ocho, I'm interested to see if you agree with me. I'm starting Huntley.
What? What you playing, Madden?
Nope.
You talking about real life?
Yep.
Man, please. You tripping. Just run the same formula. There's no need to start Huntley.
You can't. Because I know he's back there. So I'm going to ask him to do more. Is Lamar going to be able to get out of harm's way like Huntley did last night when Green Bay? Has he looked like Lamar Jackson since he's gotten back?
No, not the one.
Why not?
Because he's coming off injury.
So therefore, start Huntley. Thank you. See? That wasn't so hard, was it, Ocho?
That's like saying, well, hell, let's say Josh Allen's not playing well or Joe Burrow's not playing well. They don't look the same as what we're used to seeing them look. Are you saying put the backup in?
No. All I'm saying is we know Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback, but Lamar Jackson isn't healthy. A 70% Lamar Jackson is better than anybody. Are you telling me 70% Lamar Jackson is better than a 100% Huntley?
Absolutely.
Well, if that was the case.
Abso-effing-lutely. And joining me now is the man with the buys, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only. JB.
Hey up.
Happy New Year's, brother.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
How did we enjoy the festivities last night? Were we just kind of relaxing at home?
Yeah.
Did we make it to midnight?
No. I fell asleep early. Fell asleep about 10 o'clock. I think I woke up at like 12:30. I was like, oh, dang. Missed the New Year. I haven't done that in a while.
Missed the drop. Hey,
kudos
to you.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. That's the changing. That's the flipping the page of a new chapter there, JB.
Yep.
You started off the new year. I bet the body feels great. The mind probably feels loose. You look good, bro. You look good to kick off this season. And JB, we have Tim waiting for us here. So let's go ahead and jump into the college football playoffs and react to what happened last night and then the Diego Pavia news. And then after that, we will follow up with the AFC quarterback talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now bring on our UNM alum, our college football enthusiast. If some of you haven't checked, maybe you should Google his name. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Foley. Yeah, Tim taking some strays on accident in the comments. I posted a little something yesterday about Diego Pavia, trying to have a little fun. Got some information from the Pat McAfee show on how they criticized him, and then someone kind of misread it and thought it was actually Tim. Tim caught a stray, and then Tim hit him with the good old Shaquille O'Neal quote. Google me, Chuck. I love it. But Tim, let's move past that, and I just want to ask you quickly. We can stay on the Diego Pavia topic. We saw a article that came out yesterday that he's suing college football. I don't know if this is that the article that we talked about six weeks ago, whenever he was trying to do some changes for JUCO athletes. Is that the same article? Or is Diego Pavia actually trying to get eligibility for another year in college football?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, you sound great, brother. Happy New Year's.
Cool. Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Terrence,
Yeah.
no problem, my man. I appreciate your apology, and I'm sorry for going at you a little bit too. I had a little bit of time yesterday and this morning, so all is good.
No, that's how. All right, Tim, go.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But sorry for the miscommunication there, Terrence. And not a good way to start off the 2026 year. But I appreciate you being here. But to kind of dovetail off of the Diego Pavia thing, so it's not the same article, but it is kind of the same deal that we're dealing with. Give you guys kind of a rough timeline of kind of what's happened. In November of 2024 is when Diego Pavia filed that lawsuit against the NCAA in the Tennessee federal courts. In December 2024 is when Judge William Campbell kind of gave that preliminary injunction, pretty much saying that Pavia does have good. It's kind of leaning in his favor if this were to go to court, so they're going to let him play this 2025 season. And then in September of 2025, the NCAA appealed that decision, but the court leaned more towards Pavia, and then they said that you're not going to be able to appeal that. And then so because of everything that's happening, on December 26th, Diego's legal team they're kind of threatening a class action lawsuit, pretty much saying that they want that seventh year for Diego Pavia as well too. It is kind of up in the air. Diego Pavia's came out multiple times actually this year saying this is going to be his final year. He's going to try to go play in the NFL draft, or he's going to go try to play in the NFL. But we've had some things happen in these last couple of weeks that the NCAA has allowed in other sports that kind of leads this to have this door open for Diego. We've had somebody who played in the G League in the NBA drafted, and then now he's going to be playing for the Baylor Bears in college basketball.
Crazy.
So with that happening, that kind of kicks open this door for Diego Pavia's legal team, who have already won this injunction in court to say, hey, he played 2 years in JUCO. So if we're talking about having the JUCO years back, he should be able to get that other year. It'll be his seventh year. And because of that happening, you guys have already allowed this. You guys, that there's precedent. You've already allowed someone coming from a professional league to come down to play in the NCAA. This kind of leaves that door open for Diego Pavia. What this does, if they do allow something like this, is Diego Pavia is going to take his chances in the NFL draft. If it's not in his favor, he could end up going back to college another year if this thing does kind of come around and rear its head. So there is a lot of things up in the air right now. A lot of people are kind of up in arms with this Diego Pavia thing, saying, hey, man, he's super old. He shouldn't be playing anymore. But there are a handful of athletes within these last couple of years, not just this year, that have played multiple seasons. A couple of them to name Cam McCormick. He ended his career at Miami. He played in 9 seasons in college football. And then Cam Rising, who was the quarterback at Utah. He played 7 seasons. He was actually granted an 8th, I believe, and then he medically retired this last year. So he wouldn't be the first. He most certainly wouldn't be the last. I can see the reasons why people are up in arms for it, because now we have closer like mid-age 20-year-olds playing against 18-year-old kids. But this is what college football has turned to now. And so I don't see him coming back into college football unless he does get drafted in those late rounds. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's about money, he's going to make significantly more money in college football, even if he was a first-round draft pick in the NFL. So if that's kind of motivating the decision, obviously the money motivation will be to stay in college. I think he'll have better success in college as he would in a rookie in the NFL. But that is still up in the air, and we'll find out more whenever the draft comes around.
Yeah, do we know JB how long he has to put his name into the draft? Do we know what the cutoff time is, boys?
I don't know.
That's a good question. That's a good question. We got to find that out. Jay, the producer, if you can find that out for us, and then get back to us on what the time frame is for the eligibility on going into putting your name into the pot. But the whole thing with the NCAA, like it just feels like they continue to keep dropping the ball. I saw that news with college basketball, and we're gonna see it now, where like athletes are able to transfer to another school midterm and still be eligible to play the season. Whenever I first saw that, immediately I thought, I'm like, okay, so you could play football at Vandy or Alabama or anywhere, and then do a mid-season or mid-year transfer to another school and then go hoop for like Texas Tech or something. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works for basketball. I mean, they kind of do their own thing, but
That's a whole nother
um,
world. A whole nother world.
yeah, I mean, the problem is there's all these litigations because of this antitrust lawsuit that the NCAA is scared to do. Like the leaders of the NCAA are scared to really enforce any type of rules, because if they do something, they could turn around and get sued in court. And then if they get sued, then that sets precedents, and then they can't even enforce their own rules at that point. So I mean, it really is the wild wild west until something happens with this antitrust lawsuit. Nothing's going to really get squared away. I mean, if they're talking this morning on College Game Day about it with Nick Saban and everything, like all these people have these great ideas, but even they won't be able to implement these ideas because there's going to be somebody coming in suing because they don't like that ruling for this reason. So, I mean, until we get these legal things fixed, I don't think we're really going to move forward.
Terrence Bennett says mid-January, so around mid-January. So I guess we're gonna have to wait just a little bit to see what the announcement is with Diego Pavia. That game last night, though, Tim, if he does go to the NFL, it was an extremely slow start, which is why I even put out that post to begin with. Extremely slow start. They kind of pick it up there in the third quarter, similar to what we've seen there in the regular season, and they were able to fight back. And that defense just felt like they hit the wall. Fatigue kind of kicked in, and they lose to Iowa. Not a great look for us having the whole debate on whether the SEC is the most dominant. I think we're kind of down bad in the bowl games. Is that correct, Tim, with the SEC teams?
Yeah, the SEC actually has the same amount of wins, I believe, as Mountain West teams right now in bowl games. I
Yikes.
that stat is kind of like it makes sense. You know what I mean? I mean the Big Ten, I believe, is now undefeated in bowl games right now, and they still have more to play. Or actually, they're not undefeated because Ohio State lost last night, but they've only had one loss in these bowl games. Those statistics, those stats kind of are weighed one way, just because bowl games nowadays aren't really considered, unless you're in like the big New Year's Eve or January 1st bowl games. They're not as big as they were 5, 10, 15 years ago. You're not having the whole team playing. It's not really the same team that's playing during the regular season. A lot of teams are even opting out. We've seen Iowa State, Kansas State got fined $500,000 from the Big 12 because they made a bowl game and they said, no, we're not even going to play. So it wasn't just Notre Dame that said no. And because of that, you're not having those same teams that were even on the team 2, 3 weeks ago that are performing these bowl games. But at the end of the day, that stat is true. I mean, the SEC only has, I believe, um, two wins in the college bowl game era. So, I mean, Big Ten is really showing out right now, and they're showing that they are probably the best teams in the country coming out of the Big Ten.
No, like Terrence May says here. The guys, not all the guys play, right? You looked at yesterday's. I was watching that Texas game with Archie Manning, and you saw the list of players that opted out, and it's like 15 players. And most of those are starters, and Texas still got the win, but like it's weird where college football is right now, but it's at its highest too. It's the most viewed it's ever been of all time. So the interest of college football is obviously there, but man, NCAA just continues to drop the ball. And Tim, whenever I let you go here in just a bit, I'm going to show you JB. I don't know if you guys saw Calipari's speech after Baylor signed that that player that got drafted to the NBA and then got reinstated to college basketball. Baylor's coach, his response to all the criticism that's coming his way is it's not a us problem. It's an NCAA issue, and we're just trying to get ahead of it because everybody's going to do it. It's just a matter of who's first, right? And at the end of the day, all we care about is our programs. And I don't know that we are going to be pressing Baylor whenever they're in the Final Four or on their way to win themselves a national championship. But based off that, if I'm a betting guy, in which I am, I was thinking to myself, like, what's stopping me to make a trip to Ruidoso to go place a ticket wager on Baylor? Like, if we got an NBA player, this guy's gonna murder. This guy's gonna kill. But that whole thing, we'll find out more. I'll get more information from Sean, because he's gonna make that transition to college basketball here pretty soon. And what I saw is there's a different set of rules for American athletes than what there is for overseas athletes. And that's when all that stuff is going to get messy with college basketball, but we'll slowly turn the chapter as we finish these college football games. But last night's game, Tim, Miami Hurricanes get a 24-14 victory over Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State looks so dominant. For me, my takeaway was this is kind of a reflection of what their season was, and they just never played anybody. They never played anybody. And that's what college football is kind of setting up for next year. You already see Texas kind of redoing their schedule, Notre Dame redoing their schedule. So are we really going to get the best talent when it comes to the college football playoffs if these guys aren't playing anybody? What was your biggest takeaway from last night's game?
My biggest takeaway is that you can't when it comes to these top 12 teams, minus the like group of six conferences, you really can't count them out. I mean, I was sitting here a few weeks ago, and a lot of people around the country were talking about how Miami shouldn't have even been in the college football playoff. And then the back-to-back wins, they beat a former number 2 and number 1 ranked team in the country. And one of those guys was number 1 ranked in the country for the majority of the football season. So, I mean, what really stood out is kind of what you were talking about. Ohio State didn't play anybody that challenged them in the trenches until they played Indiana, and they really exposed that Ohio State offense. And you can really tell during that game that Ohio State's offensive line could not do anything against Miami's defense. And then they stuck to the game plan, which we talked about a couple days ago, of them staying on focusing on running the football. And because that was the foundation of Miami's offense, they were able to pull off this historic win. And everybody in Miami is through the roof right now because they're thinking this is the old school Miami. The U is back. And I'm really excited to see what this game is going to be like next week. I mean, they are rolling. We've found out now from last year and this year, all of the teams that had a first round bye are 0-5. We're seeing now that maybe this 21 to 25 day span of not playing a football game and then turning around and playing the second round of the college football playoff isn't serving well for these teams that are getting these first round byes. So I don't know if that had to play into it. There was also the thing that Ryan Day was calling the offensive play calls, because we're talking about coaches leaving and being head coaches elsewhere, but still having to finish a college football playoff run. Because of that, Ryan Day told the offense coordinator, you don't have to focus on calling plays. You are now the new head coach, I believe, at USF, so you can focus on recruiting and doing this stuff because the portal opens tomorrow. And so as a head football coach of a program, and you're not even there yet, you're calling plays in the college football playoff, you still have to set your team up for success this next football season. So Ryan Day said, hey, man, you can go take care of that. I'll call the plays. I don't know if that had anything to do with last night. I don't think even if they had their original offensive coordinator calling those plays, I don't know if that still would have done anything to be able to hold that pass rush and that run defense of Miami. But you do have to think about that, and that could have been a factor.
Oh, dang, I didn't even realize that. Did you, JB?
No,
So
just based on
he
the
did
game
have 3 weeks to prepare.
no.
3 weeks to prepare, though, right? So there's
Is
no
that
excuses.
too much though? You know what I mean? So like, but what people are talking about is whenever you're playing football, I mean, you might have a bye week during the year. Some teams have like maybe a back-to-back bye week. You don't really see that, but 21 days without playing a football game, then playing arguably your most important football game of that season, it's not turning out to be as good of a thing as people thought it was.
So, and Tim, based off your experience, so whenever you guys made the bowl games, right? It was like it's always been where it's like a 3-week waiting period, right, before the college or the bowl games even begin. Do you remember what it was like having to like rewire yourself to prepare after have been being sat out for so long?
Yeah, so I didn't play in a bowl game at the Division 1 level. We did at the I did at the Division 2 level. At the Division 1 level, it depends on what bowl game that you're in, because you can be University of Mexico hasn't been playing in any significant bowl games that are like New Year's Eve or like big time bowl games. They're going to
Okay.
be playing the Mexico Bowl, which is until this year, I think, or maybe even last year, New Mexico Bowl game was always like the first bowl game of the slate. So you're playing pretty quickly after your last football game. And then you're also having to put into perspective if they played for a conference championship, because if you didn't play for a conference championship, you're not playing that last game of that season either. So then you have that, then the week or two leading up to the bowl game. So if you're playing those early bowl games, it's really just that's good for you because your team gets to rest. You get to reset the body. 2 weeks, 10 days, you get to go out there and play another football game. But statistically, what we're looking at, if we're just looking at last year to this year, not one team who had a first round bye has won that football game. We're 0 for 5 now. I mean, we'll find out more after today, kind of how that looks. But we're seeing that these teams that have been able to play a game that first week in the college football playoff is actually benefiting them going into that second round.
Yeah. Dang, man, that's crazy. And then we'll see how it plays out. Today you got Oregon Ducks and Texas Tech about to kick off here in just a few. But man, JB, your boy Michael Irvin, that's a wild boy. This guy is snowed up to the gills. Look at his reaction after getting that win yesterday. His whole thing
Did you
right now
say
is
snowed up to the gills?
yeah.
It is snowing in
He might
Miami.
be.
Oh my goodness.
He was on one for sure.
AT&T inside the dome was closed, but he's snowed up. The amount of energy that Michael Irvin delivers, bro. This guy is full entertainment. Full
And Ray
energy.
Lewis too. Ray Lewis is right next to him on the sidelines the whole game, going crazy with him.
Crazy. It's
funny.
cool seeing. Go ahead.
It was funny as I was having to my fiance was watching the game with me, and she's like, "Who are these two old guys? Like what's going on?" And I had to tell her, I'm like, "Well, they're NFL Hall of Famers. Like they're big name people." She's like, "Yeah, but what do they have to do with like why are they here now?" I'm like, "Oh, they used to play at Miami," and she's watching them, and then I it kind of slipped. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, and that guy actually got away with murder," and I was like, "Oh wait, actually." We're not going to talk about that.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly, big time. That is true though. That story, which we could dive into that at another day, but that is they got some dogs over there on the sideline. I mean, Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, Ed Reed. Who else did we see out there? Wait, hey, do you guys remember when y'all started watching like college football in the Miami Hurricanes? Like when I got into college football, the guys that kind of really made me lock in was I don't know if you guys remember, but like Ken Dorsey, Willis McGahee, Jeremy Shockey, that team. That was
Yeah.
the team that got me into. I fell in love with Ken Dorsey. I thought Ken Dorsey was going to be like the next Troy Aikman, and then he ends up being a better offensive coordinator than he is an actual quarterback. But like what do you guys remember from the Miami Hurricanes from back in the day, Tim?
Yeah, college football has been my passion since I was a kid. I mean, I actually watched the historic national championship game with Miami and Ohio State. I think it was like 01 or 02 that went to double overtime with Jim Tressel. Like I was watching that game as a kid, so I can't say I was watching it whenever like Jeremy Shockey and them were there like earlier, but like the early 2000s, like 01, 02 is when I really got into it.
Yeah, the Hurricanes were cool, man. They were
Yeah.
fun. JB, you have any?
No, man. I just know from that game last night. I mean, and then of course, like back in the day, man, Willis McGahee, all those guys, dude. And then just seeing Ray Lewis and a lot of those guys come out of Miami, that was a crazy team too. That whole Ray Lewis team, that was a really good team.
Yeah.
But just based off the game last night, man, Miami's tough in the trenches. That defensive pass rush, that pass rush that they got going on with Ruben Bain and all those guys. Ruben Bain, he looks like a first rounder coming out of college for sure. I guess one of his criticisms was having short T-Rex arms, but he was making one-handed tackles. He was stopping the run game. He was in the backfield. He's going to be a good pick. He's freaking, man, that dude's a monster, man. He kind of reminds me of something like he looks like a John Randall, kind of, just the kind of way that he
John
looks,
Randall.
man. I don't know. He looks like a good pick for sure. But, man, Miami looks tough. Miami looks tough. Carson Beck's making plays through the air, on the ground. Fletcher, he's running the ball good. So Miami looks tough.
Isn't it crazy that they almost weren't picked to get into the college playoffs? Like,
Yeah.
that's nuts. That is
Yeah.
nuts. The fact that they could just handpick who they want to go into the college football playoffs is beyond me. So the top 25 rankings means absolutely nothing. Nothing. At this point, the top 25 means nothing. Of course, things will probably come to a change here come next year as all these lawsuits and stuff start to come in. But it's the Wild Wild West in college football. Tim, Oregon Ducks and Texas Tech Raiders. I know we talked about this on Tuesday yesterday, but as they kick off, as they make the walkouts right now, it looks beautiful. It looks nice and sunny. I know you gave your pick Tuesday, but for those that weren't listening, what is your expectations from this game and who's winning?
Yeah, I anticipate this to be a very good football game. Oregon's explosive offense is going to make a lot of plays, but I don't think they're going to make enough to get past Texas Tech's front seven, the best front seven in college football this year, possibly in the last 5 to 10 years. But I don't see Oregon beating Texas Tech. I see it being a very good football game. All three of these games today should be very good football games, but I think this one's going to be a really good one. I think Texas Tech is going to pull it out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm rooting for Texas Tech. They're down the street. It'd be pretty cool. There's some billionaire that is just funneling money through that school right now. So they're not only gonna be good at football, they're gonna be good at basketball. They're gonna be good at softball. That's the two. I think that's the other two sports that they're probably gonna be dynamic in. That I at least
Volleyball
follow.
too.
I know they got this girl in softball last year. They made it to the finals, and she was one of the first women athletes that got $1 million. So shout out to the Texas Tech Raiders. And what's your thing? Guns up, guns up.
Yep.
Come on, Borba, guns up. We're like technically somewhat alumni because we made a drive through the campus.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
say. We got some
That's how it
ties to the
works.
Texas Tech Red Raiders. And we got some
Yeah.
friends that went there too. So shout out to the Red Raiders and shout out to all those alums that
That's true.
are juiced up and probably woke up this morning to have a drink or two to enjoy college football because it's the one thing that brings us together, baby. Sports is the one thing that brings us together, and I love it. Tim, I appreciate you joining us and educating us every week more on the college football playoffs. The one thing that has just been a beauty to our show is your addition. So I thank you so much, Tim. Have a great start to your New Year's. Tell the family hello. Give your kiddos a hug from us. And yeah, man, let's have a day. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Foley.
I want to see.
Tim.
I want to see. This
Oh.
is definitely Dante Moore's uh, time to shine, though. Against a great front seven, he's going to take a lot of heat today. I want to see how he responds to it, how he's letting go of the ball. This could be the Raiders' #1 pick right here. So I think it's up between him and Fernando Mendoza right now. So it's a big game, a big showing for what could potentially happen this offseason.
For
So
both, right?
for both guys.
Both guys are kind of playing for the first round pick right now. I think the news that's circling in the NFL is that Fernando is going to probably go #1, but all that can change with these
can
games
change.
today. All that can change in a glimpse.
Right.
I have a Raiders friend who I talked to yesterday, and I mean, all of a sudden, these Raider fans are throwing on red, and they're they they got a little accent now too. They got a little Spanish accent, and they know that their #1 pick is playing today in the college football playoffs. But that can all change with the bad game, JB. That can all change with the
100%.
bad game. But I'm looking most forward to that Indiana game just to see if Indiana can continue
What
the
time
run
do
that
they
they're
play?
on. And not only that, they're playing Alabama. They play at 2, so they're the second game after this one. But this is the one that I should have asked Tim about because this is the one that's the Rose Bowl game, and from what I've seen is the weather it's not good. It's pouring as of
Yeah.
this morning. It was pouring. I wonder if I can find that clip.
It wasn't even coming down, and Pat McAfee was freaking out already.
Yeah, here I got it right here for you. This was as of this morning. They were trying to clean the fields here. Like, this
Yeah.
looks nuts, bro. I think this is the worst case scenario for Indiana is like an outside factor, an outside element affecting the
The
game.
guys up there putting up towels on the seats yesterday.
They're still there.
Yeah, look at it.
Right, Desmond, they're still there. They were putting towels on the
seats. Look at the seats up there.
I don't know if that's working.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how many squeegees they got.
I need a word. I need a word with Tony.
But I will say this.
This ain't supposed to be happening right now, according to them.
Can we hire a couple guys, those guys, to give us some cover?
Squeegee our back.
JB, you know what that feels like or what that looks like? It's like
What?
if you were trying to dry yourself while it was raining outside and you were just dapping yourself
There's
up
no
with
shot
that's
there.
what that looks like. It don't look like they're doing anything. It don't look effective at all. They're squeegeeing the water out from one spot as water
Yep.
just continues to pour down behind them. You ever seen those TikToks whenever there's this prank whenever someone's in the shower or it's like a public like at the beach, right? They go to the shower heads and they're showering their head and then some jerks on the top of the ramp squirting soap on their head so the
Yep.
soap just never ends. That's kind of what that feels like right there that I just watched. They
For
just
sure.
they're like, "What the hell? What is going on? What is going on?" But let's make the transition. Terrence May says Bama can't run the ball. This is bad for Bama. Yep, that's for sure. Indiana, I
Yeah.
think this works in the favor of Indiana, but you would prefer that it was just a clear day and there was
It's
no
gonna be a rough
outside
game.
factors that can change this game. Yeah, for sure.
Rough game.
I like it though. Give me Indiana. Let's go guns up. Let's go Texas Tech as they kick off right now. Hopefully they can get this win. There's a lot of red in the stands. There's a lot of red. They're in all black. I like the black helmets.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Kickoff
dressed for a
just happened.
funeral.
Yep.
Dressed
I
for
got
a
the game
funeral,
plan.
JB. Guns up. But let's make the transition back to the NFL
Yeah.
Football League, JB, our favorite league. AFC quarterbacks. Yesterday I asked you, there's a little bit of homework I'd like you to do. I'd like you to tell me tomorrow, which today, what quarterback do you trust most in the AFC? And let's just name the 5 that we will discuss. Okay, and help me out here. So we'll start off with the MVP or the potential MVP.
Potential
That'd be
MVP,
Drake May, right?
So we
So
got
we
a
got
Drake May.
May. We're gonna go Trevor Lawrence because that should be another guy that should probably be in that conversation.
All
as
these
well.
guys
Not
need to be in the
necessarily-
conversation. Let's just cut it. Let's just
All of
these
them?
guys, all of them, even Josh Allen, all of them. Put them all in there.
Okay, so we're gonna go.
Yep.
Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, Bo Nix,
CJ Stroud,
CJ Stroud. Yeah, sorry about that one.
and
CJ
then of course
Stroud,
you
and
got
then
Aaron Rodgers or Lamar are going to be playing.
Aaron Rodgers, Lamar.
And then still both have question marks. Honestly, on their legacy, Aaron Rodgers, who's to say that he's, I don't think any of them, either team is a contender, but you got to throw them in there because there still is trust issues. Aaron Rodgers has been around for forever, and he's only got 1 Super Bowl under his belt. So this does kind of.
So 1 through 7.
Like, I don't want to say
This is
tarnish,
how we're going to set them up here. 1 through 7. And I just want to start off with Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. As of right now, are you confident enough in them to make any type of noise in the playoffs, or do you feel like these guys aren't on the top tier of what quarterbacks we should trust?
I think so. First round, you're most likely going up against the Texans. First round, and defensively, I just think the Texans are too tough. And there's a lot of offensive line issues, at least with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, he's been getting the ball out of his hands the fastest out of any QB in the league this year. So he's been getting rid of the ball quick because he doesn't want to take those hits. And that defense is going to be howling after him. And if the Texans can get a good lead on the Steelers, I think it's going to be really hard for them to come back. And all CJ Stroud has to do is just be a game manager. Hit the big plays when they're there. He's got Nico Collins. He's got rookie wide receivers that he's working with, but he's making it work. And you got to protect them. So that's my biggest question mark is at least in the AFC North out of the Steelers, I'll say the Steelers first. If they make it, my thing is how can this team come back from behind if they are playing a team like the Texans or the Chargers that might pounce out to an early lead If they can control the clock and stick with the run game, which they've had another hard time with the run game this year, like, can they keep a lead and can they come back? That's my biggest thing. And I don't trust the defense. I don't trust that offense enough in Pittsburgh. I just don't think at the end of the day, neither of these teams are contenders, to be honest. So it is what it is. If they get a tough win, that probably exceeds expectations, and that keeps Mike Tomlin around for another year. And then we'll see what Aaron Rodgers does. I don't know if he comes back to Pittsburgh, if he retires,
want him to come back.
if he goes somewhere else, because his name's floating around, just not only in Pittsburgh. So that would be interesting as well. So I don't know. At the end of the day, like I said, Pittsburgh, I think they're the least amount of contender. They're going to be the least contender in the AFC. Same thing with Baltimore. Don't trust their defense. You got to get the best out of Lamar. If you get MVP Lamar, if he comes back as MVP Lamar, then okay. And you get a prime Derrick Henry, what we saw last week. That's what you need. That's what you need from these guys.
Potential gets you fired, though. Potential gets you fired. What's crazy to me is that there's real conversations on whether Lamar Jackson should get the start this weekend or not. I think that part is mind blowing to me. But I agree with you that these are the two. Go ahead.
Another thing is okay, and that clip that you played, I think when I was gone, but that clip with Ocho and Shannon talking about a 70% Lamar is still better than most of the quarterbacks. But we've seen what he's done this year. He played good earlier on this year, and then obviously he took an injury, and we haven't seen the same Lamar, and I don't think that Lamar is not a threat to these defenses, to any of these defenses that they could go against in the first round. I don't think he's enough of a threat. So that's my biggest thing. And who's to say this isn't Lamar's last year in Baltimore? That's another thing. Thing. It's 8 years.
And that's real.
It's 8 years. You've seen your peak, possibly your peak. Now what? Is Lamar regressing? That's another thing. Is he regressing? What are we going to get him in the future? We got to pay this guy again. So there's a lot of question marks as is this Lamar Jackson's last season in Baltimore? If he can't get it done this year, when would he get it done? I don't know. I think John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, I think they brought the most out of their relationship together. I just don't think a Super Bowl is going to be the happy ending that Baltimore wants when it's all said and done.
That's fair. I like that take. I agree with you too, JB. But the one thing that I always think about with the Baltimore Ravens is like, how outside of Derrick Henry have they brought in legitimate help at the wide receiver position to help Lamar Jackson? So like, to say that he's regressing, we don't know, because we've seen, like, you can look at like Josh Allen this year and you could say, hey, maybe he's regressing, but then we always use the excuse that he has no help, right? Like there's always some type of excuse for Josh Allen. Why can't we have that for Lamar Jackson?
But the thing is there hasn't been no talk of Josh Allen regressing. If anything, Josh Allen is what's keeping this team alive, keeping this team at 11 wins or 10 wins, whatever they have this year so far. Like, he's keeping this thing afloat, because if he wasn't there, this team would be right there at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
So
this team would be right next to the Jets, right next to the Raiders, trying to get a first-round pick and get Fernando Mendoza as well.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. It's gonna be interesting to see where Lamar goes, or if he goes, or how they play this situation out. Because now you're starting to hear the stories, right? Like, Lamar's falling asleep during meetings, Lamar's playing video games, blah blah blah, and it's like, the sleeping part, that part gets me. The video game part, I'm like, why is that even part of the story? He's staying up late to play video games. That's a better situation than him being out partying, or him being in the situation that the New England Patriots are in right now. The New England Patriots, as reported yesterday, have another allegation that has come out on one of the defensive players this time. And it's like, yo, what the hell is going on in New England? What's in the water over there? These boys need to keep their hands to themselves, allegedly, of course. But if it's true, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Now, Bravel was interviewed after that, and he said he's going to let the process play out. But until then, like, business as usual. The boys were at practice. The NFL hasn't came out with any type of statement, or at least I haven't seen any type of statement from the NFL. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this situation. But like we said yesterday, you just got to wait for it to play out because there's been so many cry wolf situations to where like the NFL is finally at the point where like, all right, we just got to let the law be the law. And as soon as that stuff is played out, then we'll make a reaction to what the news is based off the legal teams. So kudos to them. Sucks for the New England Patriots, especially because they have the number 2 quarterback ranked in the league, whose offense is averaging 20.7 points per game. He has 4,203 yards on the year, 30 passing yards, and only 8 interceptions, JB. That would be Mr. Drake May. What are your thoughts on Drake May? And right now, I'm assuming he'd be in your top 3 of quarterbacks that you trust, right? I want you to give me your top 3 of quarterbacks that you trust in the AFC. We'll discuss the 3, and then you'll tell me at the end who you trust the most of those 3.
Okay, let me. Okay, so real quick, let me talk about those 3. Obviously, Drake May is right there,
Okay.
and I think second would be for me. I can't let go of CJ Stroud. Can't let go of
I
it
like it.
because of the situation that he's now in with the team around him. So give me him to trust a second. I hate to say it. You already know what I'm going to say.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going
No, don't
Man, dude. The third one,
pull it out.
man, the third one's up in the air, dude. I don't want to say it yet. But those are my first 2 that I think I would trust because of Drake May, obviously, because of the season that he's having, but what he can do and what he can create. I'm gonna stick with Drake May and CJ Stroud. Just those 2 situations that they're in, they have the best chance. The other ones I can't trust yet. I really can't trust.
Trevor Lawrence or Bo Nix. That's where
I
you're at.
can't-
I see it in your eyes right now.
Neither. I can't trust neither. If I had to pick one, I would pick Bo Nix. But I still can't. I don't know because Trevor Lawrence, what has he done this year? He's got a really good resume, Trevor Lawrence, this year. He started off a little rough, but that's all these last 8-9 weeks. He's been on fire. He's played good. He's beat good competition. He still beat the Chiefs when we thought the Chiefs were something, right? Obviously, he has some big wins. He has some big wins this year. So I can't discredit Trevor Lawrence. I just don't know what to expect in the playoffs with him.
That's fair.
I can't trust it. I don't know. I just can't trust it. Same thing with Bo Nix. Bo Nix, they beat the Raiders by 3 points this year. They beat the Jets by 2 points this year. They beat the Texans with a backup quarterback with Davis Mills by 3 points. I can't trust it because I don't know the relationship dynamic, what really is going on with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I just really can't trust that. So I don't want to say I don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone. And here's the thing, I could easily just say Josh Allen. I could easily say Josh Allen, right? If it's not now Josh Allen, then when is it? Right? That's another take that you could take on it. If it's not this year, when is it going to be? And I just don't know if you got to put Josh Allen.
My thing with Josh Allen, JB,
times,
my thing with Josh Allen is it's not that I don't trust Josh Allen the most. I think ultimately, based off of history, you would take Josh Allen over all these quarterbacks, right? If you were able to swap your quarterback with Josh Allen, you would probably do it. But that's not the situation there that we're in. So we have to add some context to whether or not we trust Josh Allen with the team that he has. And to me, that's the biggest issue is that I don't trust his surrounding parts because Josh Allen is the only player on that team or the only face on that team that gives me any type of struggle or any type of nervousness with that matchup. I mean, you saw Gronkowski go up on Up and Adams, and they asked him, like, what matchup would you prefer? Immediately. Didn't even take a breath. He said, give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo. They went down to Buffalo and beat them down, and then they should have won the game at home, blew a lead. Buffalo came back and won that game. But they're right. Like Gronk's right. What is there to be afraid of outside of Josh Allen with the Buffalo Bills? And that's where I stand on why I can't trust Josh Allen. It's not because of him. It's because of the team that's surrounding him.
And that's true. And that's and my thing is the defense. The defense what kind of buckled down against Philly only allowed 13 points. They've been better in the trenches, kind of stopping the run game a little bit. If that defense can just be optimistic, and if they can get past the Patriots, which it looks like it might be their first round game,
Matchup, yeah.
if they can get past them, I think it's wide open. I think it's wide open. So that's what's going to make it really interesting. And you just never know. A third time playing a team, that matchup's going to be in the air. You know each other. You're familiar with each other. You know what they're trying to do to exploit the weaknesses of your team. So you're going to try to counter that. So that makes a really good chess match. So I would like to see that in the first round. And I think whoever can win that game will be in the AFC Championship. Possibly.
Yeah, so this is the current playoff picture. Shout out PMS. I stole this graphic from them. So right now you got the number 1 seed at Broncos. So if Broncos win, they get the number 1 seed. If they lose and the Patriots win, the Patriots will move to the number 1 seed. If the Broncos and the Patriots both lose and the Jaguars win this weekend, the Jaguars will move to the number 1 seed. But JB, if the Jaguars lose and the Houston Texans win, the Jags all of a sudden fall to the 5th seed, and the Texans win the division and get the home game at home. Chargers, from what was reported, Justin Herbert isn't getting, or he's not going to start. They're going to sit him.
Right.
So you're going to assume that they're probably going to lose that game against the Chiefs, but it is 50-50. Chiefs are probably playing for drafting position, but so the Bills and the Chargers can also change. Yeah, so this whole thing could look completely different, but man. But talk to me about Drake May. What is it about Drake May right now that is catching your eye, that you're saying, hey, this is the guy that can get us to the
I
promised
think
land?
what Drake May can do, he's accurate. Outside of the pocket, he's very accurate too. He can stretch the field, and he's making this offense better. He really is. And he
Number
has
one.
got the 20th run game. The run game's been a little bit better since they've introduced Travion Henderson a little bit more. He's getting more touches. That's going to be interesting to see if they can build on that running game. But I just like what Drake May can do. That's the guy that I would rather move forward with than Bo Nix at this moment, just because I just think Drake May's a more overall
6'4",
polished
225.
passer. When it comes to passing the football, Drake May's him. He really is. And Bo Nix, I don't trust. I don't trust. He's got a lot of issues when it comes to his deep throws. Yes, he's completed the most 20-yard throws Bo Nix has, but also he's got one of the worst completion percentages for passes over 9 yards. So riddle me that one. I don't know.
Check
But
down king, as
I
some
don't
would say.
trust. Like Bo Nix, when he gets the ball out quick, when everything's planned, when everything's scheduled, he can get the ball out quick. Yes, he can extend plays, make things happen. But when you got to extend, when you got to make some tough throws in the middle of the field, sideline throws, 15, 20 yards downfield, those comeback routes, those dig routes, that's all the stuff that kind of worries me a little bit. And that was a big issue at the beginning of the season. And it looks like he kind of overcame that. Do I think if Bo Nix can play like how he's been playing these last 4 weeks, can the Broncos make it to the AFC Championship? I think so, 100%. I still think if they match up with the Texans, I think the Texans win that game. I'm going to stand on that. I'll bet on it. I'll do whatever I will. But I think the Texans win that game for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The Denver Broncos do not want to see the Houston Texans in the playoffs.
Yeah. And
heck that. At home too. It don't matter where it's at. Send location, as Khabib Nurmagomedov says. Send location. The Houston Texans. I'm telling you right. JB. Denver Broncos don't want to play the Houston Texans in the playoffs. Not in the first round. Now you better get that bye, boy.
And if they get that bye, if they get that bye and Houston wins that first round game, say they stay at the 5 seed, then they're going to play them in the second week. So I think a matchup is inevitable. I think it's going to be inevitable.
I like it.
So I really want to see that matchup, but I just don't. I would take Drake May over Bo Nix right now because that's a lot. That's a big talk out of the young guys, the second-year guys. Give me Drake May. In the MVP race, that's a little bit different. A little bit different for me in the MVP race. I still would take Stafford, I think.
Yeah, and that's not a shot at Drake May. May leads the NFL with a 70.9 completion percentage in 2025 at just 23 years old, Borba. May would be the youngest player in the Super Bowl era to lead the NFL in completion percentage in a season, passing Joe Montana, age 24, in 1980 as the current youngest to ever do it. Drake May's on one. Drake May, 109.1 passer rating, is the third highest by any player in their age 23 or younger season in NFL history. He trails only what some people are calling the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes, in his 2018 MVP season, and Lamar Jackson in his 2019 MVP season. I don't know, man. Drake May doing a lot of stuff. I wonder how much, like, because you keep seeing these stats, right? That the youngest, the youngest, the youngest. Like, I wonder at what point that becomes a factor in an MVP race that is 50-50. Like, how many times are they going to make the argument for Matthew Stafford whenever they say at this age, at this age, at this age, and then same thing for Drake May at this age, the youngest, the youngest, the youngest. This MVP battle is going to be interesting, Borba, to say the least.
It's my thing is like, okay, yeah, Stafford, they've took a couple losses in the past few weeks. He's had a couple bad games. This team is just the Rams. The defense is not showing up lately, and this team is like really, really dependent on Stafford's success. Like if Stafford don't have a good game, they lose. It's crazy. Like you can just throw that into the MVP conversation too. Like, oh, if he don't play good, they lose. They can't overcome it.
Oh,
They can't overcome 2-3 turnovers. Which those are his fault. It's debatable usually, but he does have the most pick sixes in
all time, all time.
Is it
Broke
all
Brett Favre.
or is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
Brett
He
Favre. See,
threw that
that's
third
crazy.
one. 52. I believe he's at 53.
A lot
Correct
of
me if
pick
I'm wrong
sixes.
there in the comments, but that is a crappy record to break in when you're trying to make an MVP run. That's not going to
Gunslinger.
help. That's not going to help the voters lean your way. Let me read you two more stats real quick, JB, before we move on to CJ Stroud. Drake May has completed 76.8% of his passes from a clean pocket this season, third highest, but he has also completed 58.1% of attempts when under pressure, the fourth highest, top five in both categories. He's the only quarterback in the NFL this season to rank inside the top five in completion rate across both categories. Face pressure at the fifth highest rate in 2025. That'd be at 38.2%, but has thrown for the second most yards, 1,125, and tied for the most touchdowns, 9, when under duress. So you can send whatever you want. If I'm sitting in the pocket, I'm going to have a field day. If you send pressure, guess what? I'm still going to have a field day. Now you can go and make the argument that it's the strength of schedule, it's the defenses that he's playing, so on and so forth. Cool. We're not here to hear that noise. We're just reading what Drake May has accomplished as a quarterback in the 2025 season. JB, I mean, bro, just reading all these stats, first and top five. It's like, damn, it's hard not to want Drake May to win. And he just seems like the perfect quarterback or the perfect face of your organization. He's just calm, cool, collected. His interviews kind of gives you that whole Patriot way vibe. It seems like that culture actually or hasn't left the locker room. I mean, as a competitor, you love Drake May?
Yeah. I wish we would have got him in Minnesota for sure. I was hoping we'd trade up or do something, but yeah, Drake May, and then having Mike Vrabel there too. He knows the old Belichick way. He knows that way. He knows the Tom Brady way. So he's probably already instilled a lot of that culture, and he's got his own flavor to it. He's got his own twist to it. So, I mean, when it comes to like a good organization, a good coach, good staff, everything that you need to change that culture around, that's why they are where they are right now. That's exactly why they are. It was like a match made in heaven. So, and then for Drake May, I don't think we expected this much progress in his second year. But that's what time gives you. That's what a full season gives you. Put a full season under your belt, get another season with the right culture, a coach that believes in you, the right scheme, just some decent weapons around you, which I think they're going to improve on that in the offseason. Get another receiver out there, something like that. I think they got the running game pretty set. Offensive line is doing well. So they got a lot of pieces in place. It's what are they going to do to improve and to make Drake May's life even better, at this point.
Yeah.
So um, they're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough team to beat. But that first round matchup, if it's against the Bills, man, I really want to pick Bills for that matchup. I really do. I just think if there's somebody that you can trust, like I was saying, CJ Stroud and Drake May were the only guys. But this is like, if Josh Allen, if it's not now, then when? I got to just go back to it. If it's now, then when? So, and I just think playing a team 3 times in a row, the amount of experience that Josh Allen does have, and that entire team, they've been here before. They got a lot more veteran experience on the team. I just think that's a bad matchup for New England. First round of the playoffs. I really do. And you could say that, oh yeah, Buffalo came back. New England should have won that second matchup. But I mean, when you see a team for the third time, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. It really is.
50-50 coin toss. I love it. Let's move on to CJ Stroud so we can close the show here. We got CJ Stroud ranked the 22nd quarterback according to fantasy stats. That's fantasy stats. So just take that with a grain of salt. 2,872 passing yards on 18 passing touchdowns and 8 interceptions. What is it about CJ Stroud that pops out to you that makes you think you should trust him the most,
I think it's
especially
just
with that offensive line?
so for me, obviously he's got Nico Collins, right? But other than that, you're working with two wide receivers that are rookies. Christian Kirk has pretty much been non-existent. He's got Dalton Schultz as a safety blanket. The running game has been inconsistent, but what makes me believe that CJ Stroud, it's the defense. And if he could just be a good game manager, play smart, do not turn over the ball. This defense is number 1 in the league for a reason. I mean, they allow 16 points a game. They have one of the highest takeaway percentages in the league. You got Daniil Hunter. You got Will Anderson. Derek Stingley in the backfield, Jalen Petrie in the DB position. I mean, and Derek Stingley at the cornerback position. Like, this team is that defense. It could be a generational defense. Like, when it comes to playoff time, if they can step up, I really just think if CJ Stroud can just manage the game, right? Don't do too much. Don't do too little. Do what's needed. And that's what I was talking about, Jalen Hurts. He does what's needed to win. CJ Stroud, I think he's still a solid quarterback, and he's still going to be the Houston Texans franchise quarterback. I still believe that. I don't think he's going to be a bust. He just hasn't had the best situation around him offensively. Awful offensive line, and he's still making it work. Not the best stats in the world, but hey, when it comes to December football, January football, just control the game. And I think I know he can do that. I don't think that's going to be an issue. If he puts this team down, I don't think he's going to throw 2-3 interceptions. He's not going to make the big mistakes. So just manage the game for me and let the defense hunt. Let the defense hunt. Let the defense attack. Let them be aggressive. If you're going down because the defense let you down. But I don't think that's going to be the case. With the DeMeco Ryans defense like this, I don't think it's going to be the case. So that's why I trust CJ Stroud just to be a game manager. He doesn't have to do anything. Just get his receivers involved, make the plays that's there. And we saw that. Like, he made a big play to Higgins last week against the Chargers. Like, he's finding his guys when they're open. So just manage the game, do what's needed. Let the field position is always important when you're talking about having a great defense and a lesser offense. So win the field position battle. Set yourself up with the ball in good territory where they don't have to maybe drive the whole field. They can only drive maybe 50, 60 yards instead of 80, 90 yards. Set yourself up good. Set yourself up good for the defense. Have the opposing offense pinned back in their own territory. Things like that. It's all little things. It's got the Texans team is all attention to detail right now. It's going to be the
CJ
detail
Stroud.
thing that wins these games for him.
Watch a little Jalen Hurts film. That's what Borba's saying. The most aware quarterback in the league, Jalen Hurts, according to JB here. do what he's doing. That's basically what you're saying, right? Manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. And CJ Stroud has turned the ball over on just 1.4% of his pressured dropbacks this season, the second lowest rate among qualified quarterbacks. From a decision-making standpoint, he has averaged 0.81 seconds to throw after pressure, the quickest mark of his career, while averaging 8.4 air yards per attempt under pressure, the fewest of his career and the fifth fewest in the NFL. Stroud has also thrown the ball away on a career high 10.1% of his pressure dropbacks compared to his 7.1% last season. Which that stat there just kind of is a reflection of the offensive line that's in front of them. They got a rookie left tackle who seems to be kind of progressing as the season goes on. Now can he hit elite status as he's going into the playoffs here, to be determined. But yeah, man, I like what you're saying on CJ Stroud. It's not necessarily about asking you to do more, but just to manage this game. And that's not always a knock, man, because at the end of the day, it's all about getting a W. It's all about getting the wins. And that's why I feel like we get a lot of ish talked on us whenever we criticize the different Broncos, because they're like, all right, how come you can't have that same perspective when you're thinking about Bo Nix? And the reason for that is we haven't seen Bo Nix be the reason that they win, opposed to where CJ Stroud, we've seen it. We've seen it happen. But now, like we say, potential gets you fired, right? Potential gets you fired. So that could be the situation that we have in Houston. But record shows that CJ Stroud can ball. Now, can Bo Nix continue to do it? TBD, JB. TBD. But
100%.
all right, between those two, those are only two. That's what you narrowed it down to.
I
Which one
can't
you trust
I
more?
can't pick
Drake May or
Justin
CJ Stroud?
Herbert.
I think Trevor Lawrence, bro.
I
I'm giving
like Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor
I
Lawrence
do.
the reins, man.
I do like Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence. And I like their path too. I
He's got
think
the best roster around him. I think he's
yeah,
got the best roster.
yeah. Parker
Is
Washington
that
coming
fair to
out.
say?
He had a good day last week. ETN in the backfield. Tank. No, you don't got Tank Bigsby anymore. But ETN in the backfield. Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington. These guys are all making plays right now, and the defense is solid. It's not a great defense, but it's a good defense. So I like Trevor Lawrence, and I like what Liam Cohen has done. I think they do make a dent in the playoffs for sure. I think if they can stay at the 3 seed and play the Chargers at 6, I think they should win that game.
I like
I
that
just
matchup.
don't for me. I don't believe in Justin Herbert, and it's not because of necessarily Justin Herbert. He's had to do a lot. He's got a lot of injuries. That offensive line has had 24 different rotations. Their two all pro tackles are out for the season. They're not coming back, and I just think it's going to be too much. Too much if you, especially with these defenses in the AFC. If they somehow win that first round matchup, you're going to be playing one of those defenses in the second round. So I don't believe in Justin Herbert still, unfortunately. And it's not necessarily because of him. I think it's just the offense. The offensive line is really bad,
It's too
and
bad.
he's
Yeah,
took a lot
too
of
much.
injuries because of it. So that's why I just don't
I'll
believe
tell
it.
you what, if he can go on a run, though, there's going to be no way that anybody can criticize his level of play.
Yeah,
If he can go on a run with this offensive line that he has, like, you got to feel bad for him. Losing two
yeah,
all pros, that's tough. And
yeah.
one of them's your left tackle.
And right now you have the 31st ranked run block offensive line and the 32nd ranked pass blocking offensive line. So it's
Yikes.
bad. You're
Yeah,
bottom
and
of
they're
the
still in
league.
the dance.
It
They're
don't get
still in
worse
the
than that.
dance, man. Kudos to him. Trevor Lawrence has tallied for 14 total touchdowns without a giveaway in his last 4 games. JB Lawrence was tied for the NFL lead with 14 giveaways from weeks 1 through 12. A complete switch on that offense that has been carried by the defense. When you say good, I think they're up there with the top 5 in the league, if they're not already top 5 in the league. Just Jacksonville's team, it just feels different, man. It feels like a team that enjoys being around. As we've followed their locker room the last like 7 games that they've been on their win streak. I mean, every week that we're watching them, it's like the locker room just looks like I mean, this might be a little dramatic, but it feels like there's some family vibes going on over there. And what Liam Cohen has brought to him, man, it's lit some fire. You got to give respect to the owner that's
Yeah.
been consistent in just funding this team, continuing to try to just bring wins. by bringing in talent, and then like you said, Jacoby Myers, that addition, that has been what seems to have been the change from when you look at the stat from week 1 through 12. I believe that's when Jacoby Myers came, and now you see he's tallied 14 touchdowns with no giveaways. Hey, you tell me if that is the biggest move of the regular season in the trading world. But I'm taking the Jags. I think I trust Trevor Lawrence the most out of any of these quarterbacks. Uh, I would trust Josh Allen. It's just the team that's surrounding him. It's hard for me to think that they're going to be able to get it done this season, although the pathway is set for them. Now, for you, JB, give us your answer. Who do you trust the most?
Golly, man, that's a tough one. I don't know why. I'm just high on the Texans. Give me the Texans. Give me C.J. Stroud. Give me C.J. Stroud in the AFC Championship. Whoever he's playing against, I think they have a real shot to make it to the AFC Championship this year. I really do. Him and DeMeco Ryan, since he's been in the league, this is their third playoff appearance in a row together. They haven't missed the playoffs together. Get done this year. I really do. I think they at least the championship. I don't know if they get to the Super Bowl, but I can. That's who I trust. Now, the other quarterback that he's going to be matched up against, no clue. No clue. Really, no clue, dude. Just to say that.
No idea. All right, JB, you sound just as confused as the rest of the football world. We don't necessarily know which way to lean. Everything feels like a 50-50, but whenever we look at rosters, it's the defense that continues to carry these offensive teams. JB, let's just run down the games that are happening this weekend, and let me get your wins or losses. We got the Panthers for the heading over to Tampa Bay for the division here. They win, they're in. Who's winning, Panthers or Bucks?
Man, this is a tough one. Tough one. I
Buccaneers
really
are
don't
the
want
favorites going into this game.
I told you from the beginning of the year. So I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to say Panthers. I'm going to say Panthers win this game. I've said it from the beginning of the year. This is the dark horse team. And right now, there's just so many. Man, Buccaneers, they just seem Todd Bowles just defeated after this year. Just defeated. And it's clear Baker Mayfield, he's regressed after starting off hot, going 5-1 or whatever. He's just regressed. I don't know if it's a shoulder injury. You can blame it on the offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, leaving. It just has not looked good, and it's a huge downfall. One of the biggest disappointments, I think, in the second half of the season for sure is the Bucks. Huge disappointment. Them and the Colts, two biggest disappointments right now in the
Colts,
NFC.
you can at least bail the Colts out with injuries. The Bucks, it's just like, we went from Baker Mayfield
even got healthier.
Conversation to Baker Mayfield. Is he the right quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
What's he gonna? That storyline. What's his future? That's another question too, because I think it's
that's what's up for that's the conversation that will be had after this game, dependent on how he performs. Because of that pressure, I'm going to take the Buccaneers to win this game. Baker Mayfield has to change the trajectory of his career going forward, and it feels like it's all in this one game.
You know what this sets up?
Starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think so, but next year looks rough. What do you think?
If this sets up for Baker Mayfield loss, this is a really, really good quarterback for the Vikings to look at as possibly this offseason. KOC, this is what he does with quarterbacks. This is what he does, and he would rejuvenate Baker Mayfield's career. He's already had it one time. He's gonna I'm telling you, that would make a really good storyline. That would make a really good storyline.
I like it. JB, the last couple of days, every quarterback that's had some type of conversation about maybe being moved on from.
That's what this team does.
AOC.
That's what the Vikings do. That's what they do.
If you want to keep Flores, you better bring in a quarterback. Because I know there's a lot of why would he make the lateral move? Well, it's the roster. And if Flores doesn't re-sign with the Minnesota Vikings, that is so telling on what the future is going to be for J.J. McCarthy. That's so telling. JB, Seahawks versus the 49ers. This will be the night game on Saturday. The Niners are plus 1.5 point underdogs. They will not have Trent Williams going into this game. To me, that hurts so bad. Who you got winning this game?
This game, man, this is another tough game too, but I'm just literally going to just look at it from the standpoint of who's healthier.
1 seed and the division.
Yep.
1 seed or the 5th seed.
Yep.
It's going to be determined
And
based off this game.
crazy to think that Sam Darnold was in the same position last year. And what
Can
happened?
you imagine if he has a doozer again?
See, and he hasn't been playing good.
2
That's the thing.
picks.
Like, these last, half of the year, the last 7 games or something like that, he just hasn't played good. 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's but they're still winning because they got a complete team around him. The defense is good. The running game has came alive. You still got receivers making plays, turnovers on defense, everything like that. The pass rush too. DeMarcus Lawrence, we just said it before we started the podcast, before we started the show. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence said when he left Dallas, he wanted to play for a real contender.
This guy.
Exactly what he's getting. You know what? He wished for it, he manifested it on a real contender. Let's just throw that out there.
Get your shots up.
Contender.
Get your shots up. Yo, shout out D-Law. Shout out D-Law. Them
And
hot
he's making
boys. I
plays.
bought some of his merch.
Rejuvenated.
Yeah, he might be the best player on that team. That veteran vibe that he brought to that defense. I mean, it was a perfect fit. But on Sam Darnold, JB, Sam Darnold has turned the ball over on 7.8% of his pressure dropbacks this season, the highest rate among qualified quarterbacks. Despite being pressured on only 29% of his dropbacks, 5th lowest, Darnold has thrown 6 interceptions, tied for the 4th most, and lost 5 fumbles on strip sacks, 2nd most when under pressure this season. He has lost minus 255.5 percentage points of win probability when pressured, the 2nd most in the NFL behind only Jalen Hurts.
That's the thing. If Darnold,
you got to take care of the ball. You have to take care of the ball.
Darnold,
You got to be the ultimate game manager.
For sure, and he's turned into a gunslinger. Like, he's got a lot of arm talent, and I don't think that was ever up for debate, even coming out of college. Like, this guy can sling the ball. Josh Allen even said it himself. Like, just watching Sam Darnold throw the ball is crazy because he throws it good. He's got a lot of arm talent, and he's a gunslinger. But his thing is he does hold on to the ball. If he doesn't see it, he's not going to throw it, and that's his thing. And sometimes, if the pressure gets there, whatever, then he's throwing turnovers. He's forcing it. So if he could just, that's the next step I think he's got to take, to keep his career going, to keep on this trajectory that he's on. But as long as this game, back to the game, I'm looking at it as who's healthy, who's not healthy. It's just that simple. At this point with 49ers and what they're allowing on defense, they're just giving up a lot of points. They have no pass rush. And that's what really kills him, having no pass rush at all. So for me, I have to pick Seattle. And I got to hope that Sam Darnold that he doesn't turn into a pumpkin in the biggest moment. That's what we're waiting on. I'm still waiting. Hopefully he's overcame that. Hopefully that game against the Rams kind of proved, like, when he's got the opportunity to win the game, he can do it. And he did it. He did it that game in the biggest game of his career. Now it's the biggest game of his career again. So can he overcome that? Can he not turn into a pumpkin at the most critical moments of this game? So for me, I'm going to believe in that. I take the Seahawks. I take Sam Darnold, and I think they beat the banged up 49ers.
Yeah, and JB, this is one of our commenters yesterday after we posted that clip about the 49ers and that offense being back. He put, "Don't write off this defense. They just need leadership. Promise you, if Fred Warner comes back, that whole defense is alive and rocking on all cylinders. Trust that." I said, couldn't agree with you more, but can they get to the NFC Championship with this current defense before we see Warner get back? It's frustrating seeing injuries derail the Niners for what seems like decades, right? And he put 100% because what no one is talking about is that defense did exactly what it needed to do. Caleb is one of the most accurate QBs in the league right now, and he takes care of the ball amazingly. He doesn't turn the ball over many times, being little, and the Bears have the 2nd best running game in the league right now. That defense stopped them in 2 crucial moments when they needed it to end and right before halftime to keep the lead. Every fan loves to see the flashy diving, interceptions, and the pick sixes because they are exciting to see. But in true honesty, all a defense has to do is stop the offense when needed in big potential momentum swing moments, and that's exactly what the Niners defense did. And they truly should have had more stops. They had Bears on a third down multiple times. It's just Caleb and that offense is really good. We are slandering the defense more than crediting the Bears' offense. They are a really, really good offensive team, man. That was a Boodle from TikTok. So are we overlooking the San Francisco 49ers defense? Based off the stat here, Robert Saleh has had to make some adjustments because of injuries. Robert Saleh's led defense played cover 4 at a top 3 rate in the NFL in every full season he coached from 2019 to 2024. But the 2025 team temporarily abandoned the coverage following Fred Warner's injury usage in weeks 6 through 10. They have also shown a decline in usage of cover 4 in each of their last 4 games, accumulating in at 15.2% mark in week 17, while opting for cover 3 on a season high 54.3% of opting dropbacks in that contest. They have additionally produced strong results in man coverage, 2.9 yards per dropback allowed, second fewest in the NFL since week 12. This, based off the comments that dude was saying, is basically the Niners are kind of running a bend but don't break type offense and just focusing on trying to make timely stops, right? Which is what they kind of did to get that victory over the Bears. So do you
What
think
if you
that
can't
can
make the
carry
stop?
them through?
What if you can't make the stops though? What if there's just, and what if your offense isn't, what if you're going up against a good opponent that just is lighting you up offensively? They can't get a stop, and then their offense is struggling. Like, then what happens? You know, a bend but don't break defense like that. Like, yeah, you had Chicago come out. I agree with pretty much everything that he said. It's just Caleb Williams. He's still not the most accurate quarterback either. But he, as far as like taking care of the ball and everything like that,
Caleb Williams just catch.
yeah, like
Caleb
you
just
know,
catching the shot. Like,
yeah,
yo, my
he's not
bad.
the most. He's not very accurate. Like, that's his thing. Is he's the most. He's actually the most inaccurate quarterback when it comes to completion percentage wise. He's got the lowest completion percentage in the league. He takes care of the ball. He makes the play. He makes all the flashy plays. He's just not the most accurate. And that's the next. So we haven't even seen Caleb Williams like full potential yet. That's what's kind of crazy. If he can fix that and get like into the mid 60s, 63, 65% completion percentage instead of like a 57, 56, whatever it's out right now, then holy crap, like that changes everything. But he's not there yet. So, but as far as the 49ers playing a bend but don't break defense, that is good until you're playing an offense who is just breaking the defense all game. Then what? Then your offense has to play even more perfect. And they did that against Chicago, but can you do that consistently? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, but
And
yeah,
JB,
49ers, they're a good team. They really are. It's
and
just
like we said yesterday, the 49ers feel like the what the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be. A great
You
offense.
wish. Yeah, you
and a
wish.
bend
Dude.
but don't break. No, I'm
You
talking
wish.
about that I'm not talking about the team this year. I'm talking about the team that Dallas has expected year after year with Dak Prescott, where we're going to have this phenomenal offense and then a bend but don't break type defense, right? And we've seen it get exposed whenever they play a team that can put up just as many points as you can. This kind of takes me back to when Aaron Rodgers made that run and we lost. I believe it was 35-38. You think you score 35 points, you're going to win that game, but damn, man, you give up 38. Like you said, what happens when they don't make that stop? What happens when they don't make that stop? And it feels like that will probably run out. I hate to say it, but it feels like the injuries will catch them. If they don't, damn, man, what a storyline the 49ers are set up for. I hope that they can get this win because they're the team that probably needs the break the most to get a little bit healthier. But damn, it definitely at some point it does feel like those injuries will catch up. But I agree with you. I'm going with the Niners, man. I'm going with the Niners. I don't trust Sam Darnold. We've seen him in the same situation last year, and what did he do? He folded. We've seen him this past couple of weeks. It's just turnover after turnover, and the defense is having to bail him out. How does that defense match up with an offense that is rocking on all cylinders? The only thing that concerns me is the fact that left tackle will be out on Trent Williams, but I trust that Kyle Shanahan, which kind of playing for coach of the year right here. If Kyle Shanahan can get this win and get the number 1 seed, give it to him. Give him coach of the year, especially with missing your left tackle. give Kyle Shanahan the coach of the year if they win this game. I'm going to go with the 49ers, JB. All right, let's scroll through a couple of these that don't matter. You got the Saints versus Falcons. Saints might have the rookie of the year in their quarterback. They might have found their quarterback, Kellen Moore. Is he a guy? It feels good for the New Orleans Saints looking into the future. Also looks great for the Atlanta Falcons after what happened last week with Kirk Cousins. It seems like they're starting to utilize their young players. Is Kirk Cousins going to be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, or does he maybe go back to Minnesota?
Minnesota. I was going to bring it up again. Another quarterback that Minnesota has their eye on this offseason. Watch out, because if he does come back to Minnesota, he's going to get a lot less money. And that's something that is intriguing for sure. So
who's winning? Good morning, Mom. We love you. Who's winning?
Good morning. Yeah. So for me, I can't go against Kirk Cousins right now. I got to take the hot hand. Give me Kirk Cousins in a win.
Give me Kirko. I agree. I'm with you on that one too. It's bro.
But Tyler Shock.
I watched that.
Tyler Shock has been playing good.
Is that how you say it? Shock?
Yes, like Shog, Tyler Shog.
Show.
Yeah,
I think I said Tyler Show the other day, but I heard it yesterday on TV. And I'm like, Shock. There's no K, but I guess you say Shog.
Shog.
Yeah, Tyler Shog.
G.
I do like Kirk Cousins' story. Man, if you watch that documentary, Quarterbacks on Netflix, like you slowly start to fall in love with some of these guys. He's got some juice in him. He's got some juice in him. Just watching him get hyped too. Just Kirko, hard not to love him. Browns versus Bengals. Will Myles Garrett get the sack record?
Give me Browns. I don't know. I don't know if Myles Garrett does. I don't know, but he's done it. He's got to 22 sacks with the least amount of pass rush attempts. So that's saying something too.
Yeah,
he's done it with like 100 less reps.
And then you don't.
100 less pass rush reps, and he's at 22 sacks. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. But now he's going to get an extra week, so somebody might put an asterisk when he breaks that record. But I hope he gets it, and I hope Shador has a good game, so that way Browns fans in the offseason can have something to be excited about. If there's a team in the NFL, and this is why I never think that the NFL is rigged, is because they would at least give the Browns one good season. If this was scripted, you would at least, which I guess they kind of did, right? They gave you the Baker Mayfield Browns. They go in and win a playoff game, and you're like, oh, my goodness. And that's probably why we're so delusional about the Browns as of late, because we've seen just a little bit of potential, and we're like, oh, come on, that fan base deserves it. That's one of the most faithful fan bases, some of the loudest. You hear the dogs barking all the time. I mean, I hear my dog outside, and sometimes I'm like, are those Brown fans outside my door right now? Just I like it. Give me the Browns this weekend.
And the thing is, the Browns, Shador, he just needs what happened last year with Caleb Williams. He didn't have a coach that believed in him. Didn't have this and that. Now, get rid of Stefanski, a guy that it just doesn't seem like he believes in him. I don't care if he does. It doesn't come off that way. Get rid of him. Bring in somebody that does believe in this guy. An offensive-minded coach. The defense is still going to be doing good things.
Oh, give me Robert Saleh in Cleveland. Robert Saleh needs to be the head coach for the Cleveland Browns. Maybe. And if they let go of Mike McDaniels, you bring him with you.
Yep.
If the Dolphins let go of Mike McDaniels, you bring Robert Saleh and Mike McDaniels in Cleveland. Turn it around. And then, like, there's already, bro, I hate Cleveland. I hate the way that Cleveland covers their team. And that's probably why they're in the spot that they're in, because they get no support from the community, not the fan base, but the talking heads in that community. They always just seem to try to derail that team. But damn, man, I look forward. So kudos. Good luck to you, Browns fans. Good luck to you guys. Colts and Texans. Texans need a big win. This game is at home. They're favored by 10.5 points, JB. Do you expect the Texans defense to continue rolling, and then maybe CJ Stroud finding some confidence again?
100%. Riley Leonard starting. They're going to bench Phillip Rivers. They're closing the curtains on the season. Closing the curtains on the season. That sucks for the Colts. Huge disappointment. Injuries, sucks to bounce back from. But yeah, Texans.
Moment of silence?
Huh?
Moment of silence for Phillip Rivers?
Moment of silence for Phillip Rivers. He tried. They lost close games. Man, just right there. Imagine they lost every game by 3 points or something less. So
I wish they would have gotten
what
one.
he needed to do. That last game was pretty rough though. That pick six that he threw, but they tried. They
Oh
competed
yeah.
till the end. They competed, and that's all you can do for 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
So, but you got to give me the Texans. Texans win that game.
Amen. And Riley Leonard getting the start, and it's all because they're just trying to save old man Rivers. They want him to go out on his shield because of the last couple games that he's put on. Great. Great. I think he did more than what anybody expected that old man to come and do. So shout out to him. And hopefully this situation doesn't happen again because of the ability of the young quarterbacks. Like the fact that Phillip Rivers is the one that got the job over any of these young guys blows my mind. But for him to come in and put up the numbers that he did in these last 2 weeks, kudos to Phillip Rivers. Let's just have a moment of silence for a potential Hall of Famer in Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
Phillip Rivers, go you, bro. Go you. Colts fans, I don't know what it looks like next year. I don't know what it looks like next year because you're in the same boat that JB's in right now where it's like, Kirk Cousins is available. The Lamar Jackson trade, maybe.
Joe Burrow.
That's kind of where they're at right now, right? Tua Tagovailoa, Kyler Murray. Maybe we can. That feels like that's exactly where they're at. It's tough sledding. And the worst part is that they have a first round pick that they don't know if they even want there anymore in Anthony Richards. Now you got the Titans versus the Jaguars. Jaguars need to get this win to stay alive for the number 1 seed. I'm assuming you're going to take the Jags as well, right?
Yep. Give me the Jags.
Sweet. Packers and Vikings. You guys ruined the day for the Packers one more time before the playoffs, where it seems like the Packers will be resting players.
Yeah.
You guys are the favorites at -7.
Yeah. So I'm take the Vikings. End the season with a winning record, 9-8. I can't complain after having 3 quarterbacks and still getting 9 wins. 3 quarterbacks. I don't know if McCarthy plays. He's still they're waiting for that swelling to go down in his hand. Maybe it's gone down. So it would be good for him to play. He needs, if he's healthy, he needs to play that game because you want to leave a good impression, but then you don't want to play him if he's not 100%, because if he doesn't leave a good impression, that then everything's up in the air. It already is up in the air, but it just makes it even more dramatic. For sure.
For sure. I'm going to take the Packers. I think there's another quarterback across from you guys that maybe, hey, that's another one. Maybe the Vikings are looking at Willis.
He might not even play. That's why. That's still up in the air too. Will might not play.
Yeah. It's up in there, but hopefully he gets it so that way he can make a couple $1 million based off his performance in this game and get a starting job elsewhere. The Cowboys, a lot of fans are throwing up their arms. Sit Dak. Maybe they might. They probably only bring him out for like a quarter or two based off of the game on Christmas. He was getting smacked around quite a bit. Don't like to see that. We already got to start preparing for next year. Jerry Jones came out in an interview on 105.3 The Fan, and he took accountability for the way that the season kind of played out. It seems like we will make some changes on the defensive side of the ball. And he said, just wait. So it sounds like he's – yeah, just wait. Just wait. David Mulugeta also represents George Pickens. So that is going to be fun to see how that whole contract plays out. And if it's anything like we've seen before, this shit is going to drag out and it's going to be all over the headlines until we ultimately end up making George Pickens the highest paid. That's what it seems like it always plays out for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. But give me the Cowboys to win that game. They're favored at -3.5 points. So that tells you what, JB, that they're probably leaning on playing the starters. I'm going to take the Cowboys to end the season on a W, but I would prefer if we got to see our backup quarterback in Milton make some noise. You like us too?
For sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You can say it. Cowboys or Giants? Let me hear you.
Oh, yeah, Cowboys for sure. And I think Milton.
I
want to see Milton play.
On repeat. Yeah, me too. Because guess what? Maybe Minnesota will call Joe Milton.
Yep, maybe. I've seen him. I've seen some rumors, and Dak Prescott wearing purple. We'll see.
Yo, imagine that. Maybe it's like a 3-team trade where we send Dak to the Minnesota Vikings. The Ravens send over Lamar Jackson, and then somehow Baltimore's dumb enough to take J.J. McCarthy. That's fantasy world. Fantasy world. Bills versus Jets. Bills at home, needing the win. Jets are a dumpster fire. Give me the Bills.
Yep, Bills.
Lions and Bears. This is the one coin toss where it's like, hey, if the Lions wanted to ruin anybody's party, it would be the Chicago Bears, because the Chicago Bears can go from 2 to 3, and that could change from playing the Green Bay Packers, which it's a team that you're familiar with, or hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Who you got in this one?
You know what? This is the upset. I give me the Lions in this one. Give me the Lions.
Yeah,
Lions play everyone, play for upset, play for spoiler. Lions win that game, and Chicago drops to the 3rd seed, and you're gonna play the Rams, potentially the Rams. That's tough.
Caleb. Hey, but good thing for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears is that the Philadelphia Eagles will not be playing any starters. They're resting all their guys. Nick Sirianni came out and said that there's benefits to having a bye week before making a playoff run, and they're Super Bowl champs. So you got to take that as you will. The Chargers or Broncos? Who's winning that one? Is there a chance that the Chargers can win? They're starting former first-round pick Trey Lance.
Nah, give me the Broncos.
Hey,
Broncos
Borba.
That 1st seed. They got
JB. Trey Lance. There's a lot of auditions happening this weekend for the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback position. Why not Trey Lance? Go off, baby. Go ahead and go make yourself another $15 million and hustle someone like the Minnesota Vikings.
I think he's always going to be a backup, man. I don't know. I really think he's always just going to be a backup.
Give me the Broncos.
Yeah.
All right. You got the Cardinals and the Rams?
Rams.
Yeah, same. The Chiefs and Raiders? Chiefs. This might be the biggest tank job we've ever seen happening in Las Vegas this weekend.
It's gonna be 100%.
It's gonna look crazy. They should have called Jamarcus Russell to come back and play one more game for the Las Vegas Raiders.
They should have.
Gosh, damn. Who are you going, Chiefs or Raiders?
Chiefs.
All right, Chiefs.
Raiders
they
do
are
not want to
5.5
win.
point favorites.
Raiders do not want to win.
They're gonna do everything to possibly not win. Dolphins and Patriots. Give me the Pats.
Yeah, Pat's got to win that one.
Commanders and Eagles.
Eagles don't really have anything to play for. They can't move up. They're locked in at the 3 seed. So
Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I think you'd give me the Washington, give me the Commanders in the upset. It's not really an upset, but I don't know if they play. I don't know if Jalen Hurts plays, sits those guys out.
No, yeah, Jalen Hurts and all the offensive players aren't playing.
They're not playing.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is sitting.
Okay, yeah, give me the Commanders.
And then to end the night, the Sunday night football game for all the marbles, not only for the division, not only for the final playoff spot. This feels like a game that they're playing for their jobs. Not only Aaron Rodgers and not only Lamar Jackson, but Mr. Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin feel like this might be the end of someone's run with their team, JB. And who do you think is going to get that W?
Man, dude. Does Lamar Jackson play? Like, do they take him out on the field?
Yeah, he was at practice, full participant today. Looks normal.
I think he plays.
JB, how come they don't run the same type of offense with the same tempo that they do for Huntley why don't they do that for Lamar? Like, instead of asking him to go be Superman, why not make it a bit conservative or use his legs more to his benefit? Like, I expect this. I'm taking. I hate to say it, I love me some Aaron Rodgers. I don't want that story to end, but man, if Pittsburgh don't lose, if Pittsburgh don't win, like, it's not only going to get loud for Mike Tomlin, it's going to get loud for DK. I feel like it's going to get loud for their GM, and Khan. Not because of what he's done, because he's done nothing but try to bring in talent to try to make this team better. But the fact that they chose to pay DK, and then DK repays them back like this, it's a tough look. It's a tough look because you can say that that's the reason that they lost last week is they had no offensive movement because they didn't have anybody to open up the field for them. And now you probably see that yet again with the Ravens defense that seems to be playing better here at the back end as they have gotten a little bit healthier. I'm taking I hate to do this, bro, but I think I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to win this game and shut the door on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I am too. 100% because DK last time he played the Ravens, he had like over 100 yards. He put a dent in that defense. Like he had a really good game. And to not have him this game, Lamar's back. We got to see the best out of Derrick Henry again. If he can put up a performance similar to last week, it doesn't have to be 200 yards, but just do his part and tire out that defense, control the clock, and do what they need to do. I think they win. And they send Pittsburgh home. Goodbye. Send them on the yellow bus.
Hey, appreciate you guys rocking with us. This is Speaking Out Loud. Thank you to all the Facebook viewers, the YouTube viewers, the Twitch viewers, and most importantly, shout out to our X viewers who have just continued to show love. So appreciate you guys from X. It's been a wonderful day to kick off the New Year's. If you haven't already, go get your 30 minutes in. Go get your 30 minutes in and let's enjoy the rest of the year. Let's accomplish all our goals that we have written down for ourselves. JB, I hope you accomplish everything. Happy New Year's to you, brother. I love you. Jay, in the back, I appreciate you. Happy New Year's to you and your family. And boys, let's make this the best year of all the years that we've had to set ourselves up for the next years to come. Happy New Year's. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.